workforce at the construction site is also matured, and current situation is unbelievable. And please give us your frank opinion about what is the main cause of the delay.
Well, there are several causes of the delay, and the delay causes have changed with years. At the beginning, it was evident that the design was not ready when they made the contract. They had a principal design, all the main ideas, all the systems were done, and they were basing the design on the latest German and French nuclear power plants, which had been constructed in those countries, but for the specific EPR, all the detailed systems design was still missing, and it required quite a lot of time to recruit the designers, because no company can keep a large number of designers if they don't have any sales. Now when they got this first deal, they started recruiting hundreds of engineers, and those were busy in making the final detailed design. And it took a couple of years before they were in such a stage that they could really start a serious construction activity. Another problem at the beginning was that they did not have enough competence on managing large construction projects in the utility and in the supplier side, and they did not understand that it had been very important at the beginning to have an experienced construction company to organize the site work and to start working on that. And it took, so to get really started, took about 2 years. When they started the actual construction, really that was about 2 years after they got the permit. Then it was observed that they were not able to keep their own schedules, so that they had been too optimistic as concerns all of this difficult construction work, because it was first of a kind of design. It was bigger nuclear power plant than anything that had been built until then, and this construction work was very demanding, and so when we compare the schedules and the actual implementation of the schedules, we see that all the time they were slipping from the plans. So that was throughout the construction, and also manufacturing the main components was more difficult. It took more time than expected. The several of the components or the parts had to be made several times, because the factories were no more able to produce the quality which Arriva was expecting from the factories, and so they had to reject several pieces of equipment which were manufactured, and that also required certain time. So those were the reasons which still continue. Even some of the piping and components which they have received recently and which have been or even installed have been found not to be acceptable, and they have been forced to replace something which was already installed with new and better quality. And this is of course a responsible position of Arriva, that they don't want to make anything which is below their own standards, but it takes time, and the big uncertainty today is for what will happen to instrumentation and control systems, because those have not been approved yet by the regulatory body. And they have attempted for years to present new documents, but always they have not been such that there is no clear demonstration that they meet the safety requirements. And again, I have heard that the regulator is optimistic, but so we have been optimistic for many years that now Arriva is improving its performance. Hopefully this time it is true and they can finally complete the project. But the utility has officially informed that they don't expect that the plant will be in operation before 2016. So this was recently in the news media in Finland.
Accident place an additional burden for Arriva or TVO in view of regulatory requirements?
And for Fukushima Fukushima Daiichi accident has caused some development at the operating plants. So far it has not impacted in any way Olkiluoto 3 construction, so it goes its own way. And my position has been that it's better that Arriva completes construction work as it has designed, and then it is a matter of the operating organization to make certain changes which are based on lessons from Fukushima accident. The main lessons are that in this Arriva design and in general in the European design, we have always been thinking that there will never happen such thing that you lose electrical power from the plant's safety systems, and we have not been able to imagine any single cause. Now we have seen such a force in Fukushima Daiichi, which has knocked out all the electrical power supply, and therefore we want to have at all power plants in Finland systems which can take care of the main safety functions even without any electrical power, and such systems will be installed also in this new Arriva's facility. Yes, actually we had 3 new projects about the same time which wanted to have a political decision to be started up. TVO had its own Olkiluoto 4, Fennovoima had its project, and then Fortum also wanted to have a new unit in the Loviisa nuclear power plant. The government thought that 3 large units is too much at the same time. They decided to give only two permits, and it was Fortum which did not get for what they asked for. And now we have this Olkiluoto 4 and Fennovoima, and they are both making a choice of their plant. In Olkiluoto 4 they still have 5 alternatives which are let's say at equal level. I have no idea which one is considered favorite, but there are two Japanese possibilities which are both very nice plants. One is Toshiba's advanced boiling water reactor, and the other one is Mitsubishi's pressurized reactor, and then 3 others. And they are making the choice maybe within a year or so. because they have to apply the construction permit by the end of June 2015, and they have to make the choice already much before that. Fennovoima has been working on two projects. They have worked on Toshiba boiling water reactor and EPR over Riva, and now they have concluded and actually today about this time, yes, I think they have just released half an hour ago a press release which says that they will continue discussions with Toshiba. Arriva is out of the game. But then at the same time they are saying that they have started to reconsider the size of the plant, because until now they have wanted to get a big plant or something between 1,500 1,600 megawatts. Now they are looking also what they call mid-size alternative, which is from 1,000 to 1,200, and they have invited invited new bids. I think in Japan Toshiba has in this smaller category already operating plants which could be in question, and then there was also a plan to invite a bid from Russian vendor Rosatom, and they have named in that press release three suppliers. Third is Arriva, but Arriva doesn't have any plant in that size category. So the situation is very uncertain. Now on one hand, Fennovoima is still considering this big unit of Toshiba, but at the same time they are looking whether they could do with less. And the reason for this change is that one of the original owners of Fennovoima, E.ON, which is a German company, has sold its shares. They owned 1/3 of the shares, and they have sold them to other owners, and the other owners think that they may not need that much power which was originally planned, and they may be able to do with a smaller unit. So this is now under consideration what will happen, but and that was the contents of the press release which you may find from Fennovoima website.
Thank you very much, Dr.
No, thank you. I can give you the